Welcome back to Soil Stories, fellow gardeners. If plants could talk, most of them wouldn't complain about pests first or even nutrients. They'd talk about the conditions they live in every single day, the non-living factors beneath our feet that quietly decide whether a garden thrives or struggles. These are the abiotic components of soil, and once you truly understand them, you stop gardening by guesswork and start gardening with intention. This isn't dry textbook soil science. This is practical, hands-in-the-dirt knowledge you can use whether you're growing tomatoes in raised beds, maize in the field, or herbs in containers on a balcony. Let's dig in. When we talk about abiotic components of soil, we're talking about everything non-living that shapes plant growth. These factors don't reproduce or breathe, but they control water movement, nutrient availability, root development, and even how soil life behaves. Think of them as the stage on which all soil biology performs. The most important thing to understand is this. You can add compost all day long, but if the abiotic foundation of your soil is off, results will always be limited. Healthy soil biology depends on the right physical and chemical conditions. Soil texture is one of the first abiotic factors every gardener should learn to recognize. It refers to the proportion of sand, silt, and clay particles in your soil. This mix determines how soil holds water, drains excess moisture, and allows roots to breathe. Sandy soils feel gritty and drain quickly. They warm up fast, which can be great early in the season, but they struggle to hold water and nutrients. Clay soils feel sticky when wet and hard when dry. They hold nutrients well but drain poorly and can suffocate roots if compacted. Silt sits somewhere in between, smooth and fertile but prone to compaction. The magic zone most gardeners aim for is loam, a balanced mix that holds moisture without becoming waterlogged. While you can't change texture overnight, consistent additions of organic matter slowly improve how your soil behaves, even if its basic texture remains the same. While texture is about particle size, soil structure is about how those particles clump together into aggregates. Good structure creates spaces, called pores, that hold air and water. Poor structure leads to compaction, crusting, and poor root penetration. You'll see good structure in soil that crumbles easily in your hands with visible pores and a spongy feel. Bad structure feels dense, hard, or powdery. Tilling excessively, working soil when it's too wet, and heavy foot traffic all destroy structure. For gardeners, protecting structure means, minimizing disturbance, mulching generously, and letting roots and soil organisms do the heavy lifting. Every time you improve structure, you improve water infiltration, root growth, and nutrient uptake without adding a single fertilizer. Plants don't just need water and nutrients, they need oxygen too. Soil porosity refers to the amount of space between soil particles, and those spaces are, well, critical for gas exchange. When soil becomes compacted, those air-filled pores collapse. Roots suffocate, beneficial microbes decline, and disease pressure increases. You'll notice plants looking stunted, yellowed, or slow to respond even when watered and fertilized. Improving aeration isn't about poking holes randomly. It's about building organic matter, encouraging earthworms, and, avoiding practices that compress the soil. Water is an abiotic factor that gardeners think about constantly, but soil moisture is more than just watering frequency. It's about how water moves through and stays in your soil. Some soils drain so fast that plants are constantly stressed. Others hold water so tightly that roots rot. Understanding your soil's water-holding capacity allows you to water smarter, not more often. Mulching plays a huge role here. Organic mulches slow evaporation, moderate soil temperature, and protect structure. Over time, they also feed the soil, improving its ability to manage moisture naturally. Soil temperature controls seed germination, root activity, microbial processes, and nutrient availability. Cold soil slows everything down, no matter how warm the air feels. Soil pH might be the most talked about abiotic factor, and for good reason. It controls how nutrients dissolve and become available to plants. Minerals are the raw materials of soil fertility. They come from weathered rock and determine which nutrients your soil can supply naturally. Excess salts in soil create serious challenges, especially in dry regions or where irrigation water contains dissolved salts. High salinity interferes with water uptake, causing plants to wilt even in moist soil. Here's the big soil stories. Truth. Biotic life follows abiotic conditions. Microbes, fungi, worms, and roots all depend on the physical and chemical environment of the soil. Get the abiotic foundation right, and biology flourishes naturally. Understanding abiotic soil components changes how you garden. You water with purpose. You fertilize with restraint. You disturb soil less and observe it more. Whether you're just starting out or you've been growing for decades, paying attention to these silent factors beneath your feet will transform your results more than any single product ever could. If this deep dive helped you see your soil differently, make sure to subscribe to Soil Stories for more practical, grounded gardening wisdom. Share this with a fellow gardener who's struggling despite doing everything right. The soil always has a story to tell. You just have to know how to listen.